In Kingless, your goal is to have the highest influence and become king. You'll do so by utilizing items, managing dwarves, and playing tons of event cards. Become the player with the highest influence and you'll receive the coveted King's Crown card. Receive the lowest and you'll end up with the Fool's Hat card. Hi, thank you for 219 for sponsoring this video and welcome back to the Dice Tower. My name is Tim and I make board game cinematics. Today, I'm going to show you how to play this game called Kingless. Now for your very first game, you want to take out two cards, the King's Crown card and the Fool's Hat card. Then shuffle the deck of cards and give everyone 5 cards. The rest of the deck goes to the center of the table. Whoever has a King's Crown card is going to go first, but if no one has it, then the shortest player will go first. Now on your turn, you start off by drawing 1 card, and then you can play any number of event cards unless the event specifically tells you to end your turn. Event cards are cards that have no symbol on the top left corner. Now once you play an event card, it goes to the discard pile, aka the gutter, and then you resolve its effect. Like for instance, here I'm playing the Hardy Mule card, and that's going to let you draw 2 more cards. Now from there, you have 2 other kinds of cards. You have item cards and dwarf cards. For these cards, you just place it in front of you, complete its action text, and then end your turn. Now you can also choose to just end your turn and draw 1 card. So event cards with no symbol, you can play as many as you like unless it says end turn. Dwarf or item cards, you only play 1 of these. And then you can also choose to just end your turn and draw 1 card. Now once you end your turn, you want to check to see how many cards you have in your hand. If you have less than 3 cards, then you want to draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. If you have more than 8 cards, discard any cards you like as long as your hand goes back down to 8 cards. Now let me go ahead and break down the layout of each card. We know that there are event cards with no symbol, but dwarf cards have this symbol, and item cards have this symbol. Some cards will have a number on the top right corner. That is your influence score. Right smack in the middle, you of course have the title of each card in the center, and the action text is basically what's listed at the bottom of each card. In terms of action cards, you have 12 different kinds. Gutter means you can make another player discard that card or card type from their play area. Claim allows you to take the card listed either from another player's hand or from their play area, and then you move it to your own play area. However, that card's action text does not occur. Discard of course means you're going to get rid of a card or cards. Pickpocket means you can take a random card from an opponent's hand and put it into your own hand of cards. Immune cards will tell you different actions or events that the card is not affected by. Recruit allows you to reveal the top 2 cards to all players, and if a dwarf or an item card is revealed, you can play one into your play area, but again, the action text does not apply. The other card gets discarded from there. I got a few more for you. Second Wind means you can check the top card of the discard pile, and if it's a dwarf or an item card, you can place it in your play area. Again, its card effects are not applied. Passives are constant effects on cards either in your play area or in your hand, and it remains active as long as that card is in your play area. And of course, there is draw, stop, and halt. The differences between stop and halt are that yes, they both block actions of the last card played, but halt is stronger, letting you override a stop card. Stop cards, on the other hand, cannot be used on a halt card. Now after you draw and play your cards until the end of your turn, play is going to continue clockwise until the end game is triggered. Now how does end game get triggered, you ask? Well, there are actually 2 ways. The first way is by having a combination of 5 or more dwarf or item cards in your play area. The first player to do this triggers end game. The second way is by running out of cards from the deck. Whoever tries to draw a card when there are none left is going to trigger end game. Now after end game is triggered, all players get 1 final turn, and the player who triggered endgame takes the last turn. The winner is the player who has the most influence by the end of the game and receives the King's Crown card. The player with the lowest influence is going to get the Fool's Hat card. Ties are broken with the classic duel of sword, hammer, axe, or some humans might know that as rock, paper, scissors. And that is how you play Kingless. Thank you all so much for watching, and have fun playing Kingless.